Fasten your seatbelts, history buffs, because today we're diving into the cockpit of the YB-9 bomber, a true pioneer of its time. But hold on, before we take off, here's a little trivia to get those gears turning. Which famous aircraft designer got his start on this very bomber? Drop your answers in the comments below. Before the advent of the YB-9, US bombers were mostly biplanes. Think of the Wright Flyer, but with a bit more bulk, lumbering through the skies at a leisurely pace. The US Air Corps had yet to embrace the concept of the sleek, speedy monoplane, but Boeing had a vision. Now, let us soar through the skies of history and uncover the secrets of the YB-9. The YB-9 also marked one of the first instances of retractable landing gear being used on a US bomber. This cutting-edge feature reduced drag, allowing the plane to slice through the air with greater efficiency. It was a huge step towards the sleek, streamlined bombers of World War II, such as the B-17 Flying Fortress and the B-29 Super Fortress. How did you talk about leaving your mark? In 1931, Boeing, then known as the Boeing Airplane Company, embarked on a daring venture. Designing it inspired other variants to take flight, including the YB-9. It's an improved version with more powerful engines as we wrap up our journey through time with the YB-9. Consider this. Despite its monumental impact on the course of aviation history, the YB-9 is often overshadowed by its successor, the B-17 Flying Fortress. The YB-9's exposed cockpit, while stylish, was a bit of a gamble. So next time you hear about the legendary B-17, remember to tip your wings to the YB-9, the plane that dared to dream of a future in the skies. All that's left are historical photos, flight logs, and engineering diagrams, making your view one of the few places where people can experience the YB-9 once again. Safety features were nice to have, but who had time for those pesky details, right? Despite its modern fuselage and impressive performance, going for an open cockpit instead of a fully enclosed cabin meant the pilot and co-pilot were vulnerable to the elements and enemy fire. Your likes fuel our journey through time and inspire us to keep soaring to new heights. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a single adventure. Together, let's keep these stories alive and ensure they reach every corner of the globe. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies and your feet on the ground. The US military began to see the value of speed as a defense, moving away from the slow, heavily armed biplane bombers of World War I and embracing the fast, streamlined precision bombers of the future. The YB-9 was a catalyst for change, a spark that ignited a revolution in the world of aerial warfare. It was a necessary evil, a trade-off made for better airflow and visibility. But it was certainly an era-defining feature. And the XB-901, a prototype that pushed the boundaries of streamlined bomber engineering. These iterations were instrumental in shaping the future of aviation, laying the groundwork for what was to come. Now that's a name you won't forget. It could reach speeds of 193 miles per hour, which was around 50 to 60 miles per hour faster than its predecessors, the Keystone biplane bombers. Well, much of it can be attributed to the YB-9's design, which was heavily derived from Boeing's Model 200 monoplane, a mail plane that was setting speed records of its own. The YB-9 was the direct predecessor to the legendary Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress, the workhorse of America's bomber fleet during World War II. It played a pivotal role in training a generation of pilots and crew, teaching them the ins and outs of tactical bombing runs and survival. This innovative aircraft was a blend of military might and commercial ingenuity, showcasing how advancements in one realm often spill over into another. It was a true crossover hit of its day, and it did this while boasting a range of nearly 1,000 miles. For perspective, that's about the distance from Seattle to Portland and back again. Not bad for a first attempt. In building the Model 215, later designated the YB-9 without a formal contract from the US government, that's right, it took a chance on an all-metal monoplane bomber. Believing in its potential, even when the Air Corps wasn't quite ready to take the plunge? Talk about a bold move. This plucky flyer made its first flight on October 28, 1931. Piloted by the legendary Boeing test pilot and later general, the colorful and controversial Hop Moore, the YB-9 was a revelation. What was behind this huge leap in speed, you ask? But wait, there's more. The success of the Y-9 didn't go unnoticed. Hey, but no aircraft is without its compromises. After all, this was the 1930s, when speed and agility were prized above all else. Sadly, only 7 YB-9 bombers were ever built, and it never entered full-scale production. But its impact was immeasurable. But perhaps its greatest legacy was the shift in air doctrine it inspired. It ushered in a new era of aviation, one that would see planes soaring to incredible heights and speeds previously thought impossible. For that reason, we say it's high time we gave this unsung hero its moment in the sun. Today, no physical remains of the YB-9 exist. No complete airframes grace any museum hangars. If you've made it this far, you're clearly as passionate about aviation history as we are. So why not show your support?